Hi there, we're going to do some algebra starters today and then we're going to get on with some work on positive and negative numbers. Okay, so we're solving an equation to start with a bracket in it. So our first job, remember our steps to success for equations, our first job is to multiply out the bracket. So we get 6x minus 10, we've got plus 2x, and that's 19. So if we collect like terms and simplify the left-hand side now, we can see we've got 6x and 2x, that's 8x, minus 10 equals 19, and now we start balancing. So add 10. So 8x, excuse me, is 29. Divide by 8. So x equals, right, remember 8 doesn't go into 29, so we write it as, we write it as 29 over 8. Then we see if we can simplify that, and we can't. So 29 over 8 is, there's 3 8s in 29, so that'd be 3 whole ones, and that's 24, so that leaves you 5 8ths left. So either 29 over 8 or 3 and 5 8ths would do for that. Okay, and then the other one, factorizing. So first of all, check for a common factor. A quick look shows that there isn't anything in common between these two terms. So we're going to move to the next checkpoint on our list, which would be, is it a difference of two squares? Well, first of all, it is a difference. We've got two terms, and the first term is 2m squared, and the second term is 5n squared. So we do have a difference of two squares, and remember the way we set that up is two brackets. This goes at the beginning of both brackets, this goes at the end of both brackets, and we need one plus and one minus, and that's that done. So what we've been doing in our number skills section is basically almost all of it. So we've looked at long multiplication, and then we've spent a while looking at the connections between decimals, fractions and percentages. So now we're going on to looking at positive and negative numbers, which we've called integers, but they're only integers if they're positive and negative whole numbers and 0, right? So for example, 1.5 is not an integer, or negative 3.7 is not an integer, but we need to be able to deal with negative decimals. Okay, so I've said integers, but really it's positive and negative numbers that we're looking at. So we're going to look at these 4 signs here. So remember what these signs mean. So this one means bigger than, this one means less than, this one means bigger than or equal to, so it can include the number on the right, and this one means less than or equal to. Okay, so just remember when you're using these signs, the number that's at the open end of the sign, that's the bigger one. Okay, so if it's that way round, this number is bigger than this one. If it's that way round, then you can see the one at the open end of the sign, that's the bigger one. So that would mean that that is less than that. Okay, so we're just going to start off practicing that a little bit and putting the correct sign in between the numbers. So negative 5 and negative 7. Let's think about a number line. If here's 0, negative 5 would be there, and negative 7 would be further down, wouldn't it? So negative 7 is less than negative 5 because it's further down. Okay, what about 6 and negative 9? So that's a positive 6 and a negative 9. So we can see that 6 is higher up than negative 9, so 6 is greater than negative 9. Again, thinking about our number line, negative 10 and negative 12. So there's 0 again. So negative 10, if I put that down there, where does negative 12 go? Well, it's below, isn't it? Because it'd be if we're going down the number line, it'd be negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and so on. And then we'd get to negative 12 down there. So we can say that negative 10 is bigger than negative 12. then into decimals. And again, I just always think a number line helps. So if we've got 0, if we put the first number in, negative 3.6. So where does negative 3.4 go? Well, if we think about this, the next one down the number line from negative 3.6 would be negative 3.7, negative 3.8 and so on. So going this way, it'd be negative 3.5, negative 3.4. And this is obviously not to scale because that 0 is there. But negative 3.6 is further down than negative 3.4, so it's less than. And then the next one, last one of these, negative 25 and negative 22. Well, let's do this without the number line. So we know that negative 25 is further down than 0 than negative 22, so it's less than. Okay, so we're just going to look at adding and subtracting positive and negative numbers now. So we obviously know that 5 add 8 is 13. But what about 5 add negative 8? So again, think about starting at your first number and then going up or down the number line. Also think about, I often just suggest to people, think about it in terms of a mood, okay? If your mood is starting off at a 5, and then I come along and add in some negativity, that's going to make you feel worse. So adding a negative means you're going down the number line because you're putting negativity in. You're making things worse, so you're going down. So you start at 5 and you're going to go down 8. Okay? So if you go down 5, you get to 0, so you have another 3 to go. So that would take you to negative 3. Okay? Next one, start at negative 3 and add 2. So we've got our negative 3 here. So we need to jump up 2. So that would take you to negative 1. What if you started at negative 3 and added 6? Well, you've got 3 to go to get up to 0. And so we're adding 6 altogether. So we have another 3 to go. So that takes us up to 3. And then negative 3, add negative 10. So we're starting at negative 3 again, and we're adding in negativity. So we're making things worse. We've started off at negative 3, and we're going to make things worse. We're going to make things go down by 10. So that means if you go down another 10 from negative 3, you're at negative 13. This is all revision anyway. I'm not expecting that I'm teaching you anything new, but often you find out in a National 5 class at some point that there are several people who have just not got confidence with negative numbers, so that's why we're working on them just now. Okay? Right. So that was adding. Now we're going to look at subtracting. Again, we're going to be thinking about a number line to help us. So if we're at negative 2 and we take away 5, so if we take away 5, that means we're going downhill, going down the way. So if you go down 5 from negative 2, you're going to be at negative 7. Okay? If you start, if you start at 6 and go down 10, well, when you get down to 0, you've gone down 6. So you've got another 4 to go. So that'll take you to negative 4. Now, 5 take away negative 2. So, remember what I was saying about moods and negativity? So, if I asked you your mood and you said, oh, it's a 5 today, and if I took away some negativity, so if I subtracted some of your negative feelings, you'd feel better, wouldn't you? So, taking away negativity is like removing coldness, okay? It gets warmer, so it goes up the way. So this is the same as 5 and then go up 2, so it's 7. Okay? If we start at negative 3, so we're down at negative 3. And again, if I take away some negativity or remove some coldness, it's going to get warmer. Your mood is going to increase or improve. So we're going up the way. So here, -3, take away -1 means we start at -3 and go up 1. So that's -2. Then we've got starting point of -12. And we're going to subtract -4. So again, taking away negativity. So we're going up the way because we're removing coldness and we're improving the mood. Okay, making things warmer. So start at -12, go up 4. That takes you to -8. Couple more here. Now it's just going to be a nice short lesson today. Then start at -9. And remember that we're getting the hang of this now, that removing negativity, subtracting a negative, or taking away coldness means you're going up the number line. So if you start at -9 and you go up 11, well, by the time you've gone up 9, you're at 0. So you have another 2 to go to have gone up 11. So that's 2. And then the last one, start at -5. And we're going up 12 this time because we're taking away -12. So if we go up 5, we're at 0 and we've got another 7 to go. So that's 7. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to have a look at multiplying and dividing using positive and negative numbers. And we're also going to look at negative numbers to a power. Okay, so I'll see you then.